JP, we'll start with you today. Obviously, I'm sure McCurry was a big part of the game plan based on the first time you guys played. But they really haven't been a three-point shooting team, I don't think you'd say this season. Was that a surprise, how many they took and how many they made? And what was the key to their success on offense for them today?
I mean, it would be a surprise if we hadn't given them to them. I mean, I think that's just credit to their ball movement, and I feel like that's just a lack of detail on our end, knowing that, you know, if we get these guys open looks, they're Division I basketball players. Like they're gonna make something, and you know, it was every single one of us, including myself, that we let them guys get them open looks, and they started to see one fall and another, and they gained confidence. So I wouldn't say I was surprised.
This is kind of a duh question, but when, at least at the start of the game, I thought the movement and everything was fine, but the shots weren't falling. And of course, you can look at that and you can see that assists are down, and at some point, you have to, it gets frantic and you have to take control. But I mean, I think I mentioned, when you score 35 points, it's really great, but the team is better when you don't have to score that many points. I mean, this is another game that didn't seem like it was very cohesive.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, our thing here is we know when we have multiple double-digit scores, we usually end up having a good game. We end up winning, especially when we do our job on the defensive end. And you know, I feel like in the first half, like you said, we got some really good looks. We got some wide open looks with the ball moving and stuff, and they didn't fall. You know, they're not always gonna fall and stuff like that, but you know, we just try to continue moving it. And I feel like even in the second half, we got some good looks. And tonight, you know, they just they didn't fall. We shoot 9 for 35 from three. So you know, I think it's a mix of things, and us worrying about what's going on the defensive end and letting it affect our offense. I think it's just a lot that goes into that, but the ball just didn't, you know, fall enough for us tonight.
Marcus, when you look, if you're an outsider looking in, you see, like, you look at scores, and you see kind of our Furman's 1-1 against Sanford this year, but held Sanford well below their average in both games. Is that something that y'all kind of are, so y'all are obviously smart to go to Furman, you know you can play defense to that level. Is that almost like coming back to home a little bit because you've had this success in the past, and now I guess just what's the biggest key for not being able to be that kind of defense consistently, whereas you defend Sanford like nobody else has really?
Well, I would say the biggest difference for me that I've been noticing is our energy. Our energy during the Sanford game was much higher than today. We came out a little bit flat, and they punched us in the mouth from the start, and they kind of were in control of the entire game from start to finish, you know. And so we gave them life from the start. We didn't show them that we was ready to play, and that's why they were able to get to the basket whenever they wanted, and from that they were able to get to the basket and then just play behind, get open threes, and like JP said, when you give Division I college basketball players open shots, I mean, they're gonna hit them. So we just gotta get back to doing what we know we can do, and just like improve our energy and just improve our connection.
Marcus, it's hard to, a game like this gets you down, but one thing that's I thought was notable is that maybe because there's so many missed shots from, but y'all hit the offensive boards very hard and very much better than the last game, and particularly the road game at Wofford was like, this was a game where y'all really hit the offensive boards well against a team that's really big.
Right. I mean, the rebounding wasn't necessarily the problem. It was more so keeping them out of the paint. We struggled to keep them out of the paint, and then when they got to the paint, we struggled to keep vision, which is why their shooters were able to get free, easy looks. And like I said, that was from start to finish. I mean, I do feel like we rebounded well. We won the rebounding margin on the offensive glass. So, I mean, that is good, but at the end of the day, it's a make or miss game, and we got to be able to hit shots when it's crunch time. And, you know, I got to do a better job of that and just holding the team more accountable.
JP, is it almost a thing now where, you know, this has been a kind of a wild season, you know, of ups and downs and like injuries and all kind of other stuff off the court and stuff. You know, you got this movie coming out about last year and everything, but you're trying to, you know, focus on this year. You're done with the regular season now. Y'all have a chance to hit maybe like a reset button and just say, hey, this is the time we gotta put it all together this week, and as you go into Asheville, just thoughts.
Yeah, most definitely, and I think that's the thing. This team is different from last year's team in a lot of ways in terms of the guys that we got, the roles that people have now and stuff. But I think exactly what you said. I mean, at the end of the day, and whatever we've done from this point to the beginning of the season, it honestly doesn't matter anymore. It comes down to the 3 days in Asheville. Who wants to be the toughest, hungriest, most determined team to go win this thing? And I have full confidence in our team that if we make that decision, that we want to do what it takes to go win, and we want to do, and the key things like the details and stuff like that, and what it takes to win Asheville. I think that we can do that. That's something that I don't think anybody on this team has a doubt. I don't think anybody in this league has a doubt. I think it's absolutely 100% totally our decision on if we want to go do what it takes or not.